Here we go. Hey, wrestling world, wrestling nation, welcome. World Wrestling Live. As I said earlier, I hope everyone had a good and safe 4th of July. But here we are again. I've got another amazing wrestling mind in our nation, Pete Gonzalez of Gonzo Training, known as the trainer of champions. He was a 1983 New Jersey state champ, 3-time New Jersey medalist, 6-time All-American. He was twice D3 national champ, 2-time D1 All-American, 4-time U.S. Open placer, 3-time world team finalist, and finished 4th at the Olympic trials. And this year, he's being inducted into the National Hall of Fame. So congratulations, Coach Pete Gonzalez. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Dan. I'm honored to be here with you. And you have a great show and some great people you've talked to. The main thing is getting to know these characters. That's what makes it so great, coaching. To me, that's what it's all about. It's about the different personalities you deal with and just seeing them grow as young students to great men of warriors, and great wrestlers.
Yeah, man, it's been very fun. I've been blessed to have this platform and be able to speak to so many amazing people in this sport. We'll talk about Gonzo Trained a little bit and what you're doing. We've all been in this kind of off-season funk due to the COVID. How have you and your students and your wrestlers kind of coped through this process?
Yeah, we're all in it. Like they say, you're all in it together. You're in it together. Absolutely. We're all in together and we're healing together. The earth is healing. The people are healing. The wrestlers are doing things that they didn't do before. They didn't lift as much. They didn't mentally train. Wrestling's physical, mental, spiritual. And that's one thing I always emphasize on faith and what you're doing and training and go for it, Don't look back and just keep going. And during this pandemic, they've been doing more of that, being more spiritual, lifting weights 3 times a week now, going for a run, the grind, which we like to call, right?
Yeah.
And they're doing that now. So that's good. But we need to get back into the room and drill and go through just start out slow and just pick up the pace as it goes, as we're allowed to, due to the restrictions,
Yeah, no, I get it. I've seen I've seen places start to open. Obviously here in Florida, we've had some spikes, but people seem to not care about that. They're still out and about and running around. Up in some of the other states, the Midwest, things like that, you're seeing where people are open and things are happening. States that are kind of not as urbanized as a Jersey, New York, Florida, more spread out. They seem to be doing better things. But first of all, congratulations. You're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Good for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well deserved. So I know you've been a trainer of many champions, and I know you wanted to talk about a lot of the many kids that have come through your program and are successful, not just in wrestling, but in life.
Yeah, I like to talk about how I got into, I've been blessed to be taught and mentored by some great coaches, and going back in the 80s, there wasn't clubs. And Ernie Monaco, Carl Monaco is a great friend of mine who went, my partner in college, a really close friend, and my cousin and those guys, we all went to the Edge down the hill of Montclair State University. After I transferred back from Clemson to Montclair, they've always been great to me, and then, I was raised poor. So when they were taking me to tournaments and stuff like that, I just had to get to their house. So I would take a bus, I would hitch a ride, whatever I had to do to get there. I got to tell you one story that I promised that I would say, because it just shows you how persistent you can be as a young freshman in high school, with Ernie Monaco and Carl Monaco. So they live in Nutley, and I'm trying to get to their house. I get to the house, got there a little late, and they had dogs, so I couldn't get into that. Couldn't get it. I wouldn't knock on the door, wake up the whole family. So I said, I'll just sleep out in the yard somewhere. So I go to the backyard. Next thing you know, it starts drizzling, and you can tell it's going to start pouring. So I crawl underneath the van that we take a van to these tournaments together, and I crawled underneath it. and I went to sleep there the night. So to make a long story short, next morning they wake up. Wow, I can't believe Pete Smith, he's not coming to the tournament. He didn't come. He didn't call. He did nothing. And I was listening to the talk. I was like, wow, that's not like him, And they're like, well, now you would bust his balls missing the tournament.
Yeah.
So I
left you sleeping underneath the van.
This next morning. A good thing I hear him start going back into the van. One door opened and this that. So I started. I woke up and I had a cat. Believe it or not, slept with me all night. It wasn't even that bad. So it's the funniest thing. So I roll out. Here I am. I'm all excited. Let's go. I'm ready to go. They were like, oh my God. They were so scared, but they couldn't believe it. And they tell that story to this day. But I've been with them since 7th grade. I wrestled high school tournaments, and Ernie goes like this: listen, I got a brother I need you to work out with. I can't believe you wrestled high school kids. You just been a real tough kid and went to the state tournament. I won the tournament. I lost my first 2 matches, then I won 6 straight tournaments, high school tournaments at 7th grade.
Wow.
So I'm like, I go, sure, I'll train with you, brother. I go, where do you guys live? Oh, no, we'll come get you. So that's when I just hooked up with the Monaco. The next thing you know, we're training in the basement, the original Edge, lifting weights. I didn't know at the time. The father was like a maniac with lifting and training. I go, oh my God, these guys are like in the military. So they just took me under their wing because I was a poor Hispanic kid at Little Ferry, New Jersey. And we stayed together. We made national champs together. We went to wrestled, won a couple national championships together, and team championship as our freshman year in 1986. We won the national championship for Montclair. I was a good year that Lee Kemp helped out with us privately in the room and stuff like that. So he got us ready mentally got us ready and technically.
That's awesome. Well, you're obviously you're a wrestling legend. I mean, I've got people messaging onto my board. Literally, Pete is a fucking legend. Literally, that's what it says.
I'm so humble.
Jersey in the house, baby. Pete Savage, Montclair State All-American, has made more savages on the mat than anyone. That's Chuck Morris and Ralph Carter hollering at you.
Thank you, guys. You guys are great too. I love you guys.
Yeah. So, man, that's awesome. So, talk about. I know that. Talk about some of the savages that you've created. What are some guys that are your biggest memory of?
The reason why I wanted to bring up the Monaco is because now we're the original Edge, and Mr. Monaco got us a little room, and we started training kids. And next thing I know, kids wanted to train privately with us, and that's how I got started with that. I go, man, I gotta focus on myself. But at the same time, these kids, they were just beautiful kids that wanted to be the best. I mean, they were dedicated, they were disciplined, they were focused, and the parents were all in. They believed in what we were doing, and they wouldn't even go to camp. We would tell them, let's go to Iowa camp, let's go to Oklahoma State. No, we want to go to the Edge Intensive Camp with you guys. Yeah, I know, but you guys did that last year. No, my kids they don't want to go anywhere. They want to go with you guys. And we're like, wow, it's humbling. And these kids came out to be super studs in high school and colleges. 4 of the guys I really got the chance to really work with privately that you would know is Glenn Prislav, a national champion for Penn State. He was a 3-time state champion. Damian Logan, a 2-time All-American. And Darian Caldwell, 3-time national champ, and upset the best guy in the country at the time was Brett Metcalf. And the only nobody believed that he could do it was me, his parents, and himself. And it was just the experiences of being at the national tournament, seeing him win a tournament, run it like I told him, you're going to shock the world. And next thing, it's shocking the world. For me, wrestling was easy because I was a fanatic. But to have others get there and do it, that is the most special thing. It's amazing.
Jimmy Seuss, Uncle Pete's the man.
What's that?
Jimmy Seuss just said, Uncle Pete's the man.
Thank you. He set me up with this computer. I was like, where the hell is he? What if I have something going on here?
That's awesome, man. Well, man, obviously you're making studs. So first of all, you're obviously been giving back your whole life. I went on when I finally got to meet you, and we spoke on the phone several times for 30, 40 minutes at a time. We could have probably talked for hours. And I went on to YouTube and I watched videos of you talking to people at the 32 and Fargo and walking into different tournaments and people coming up to you asking about, hey, who's the New Jersey kids to look out for this year? Who's the New Jersey kids to look out for this year? And you're interviewing everything. So, man, talk about New Jersey wrestling from the 80s to now, what it's become. And man, you're really giving back in that town. And how far has it grown?
It's so amazing. It's so amazing what's how it's grown. But we had to bring, I believe, this is myself since I'm an old timer, and that, I call Ernie the grandfather of club coaches,
Yeah, Coach Jamie Rodriguez from the Scorpions says hi. He just missed.
Hi guys. How you guys doing? I'll just get distracted a little bit. But thank you for all the kind words and everything. But the main thing is it's for us, for me is the kids now. Now you're not wrestling, you're not competing, but we compete as a state, and I'm all about Jersey. Listen, I love all these great colleges. I love football. You name it, Alabama. I love all those great things. But now that you get older, I study coaches, and Nick Saban, and see how they react, Belichick together, and off of 30-30. You just constantly learn as a coach. You never stop learning.
How much larger has the Jersey State Championship become since
the tournament?
We're in high school, yes, sir.
Oh my God, the tournament itself.
Yeah.
It's like a mini NCAA's. I'm not kidding you. It's 15,000 people in there, counting the referees, the wrestlers, and their fans. It was. It's amazing. We were one of the first states to be able to do that, and nothing. The platform you have to showcase your wrestlers is great. It's super great. I mean, they used to have senior nationals, stuff like that, to showcase kids from all over the country, but not everybody went. Not everybody can afford it. So to see it now, what it's grown up to, and how these kids go on to best schools in the country. My kids have graduated at the best wrestling schools in the country. I was just talking to Kurt Backus's dad online the other day. Kurt Backus went on to coach Iowa as an assistant coach with Brands, and his dad's still he's gonna have his kids wrestling, just never ending. But to see what they've grown up to be great fathers and great husbands and have their own houses. And to me, being raised poor with 7 kids, 6 kids, and my mom, my dad, my aunt, 2-bedroom apartment. I slept on the floor for 18 years. I said, this wrestling thing is for me, because I used to get into fights all the time. And I used to like it, and get myself in trouble. But as soon as I started wrestling, that's when you gain the discipline and the focus. And because I had the learning disabilities, ADD, I was ADD, HDAD before they even came up with the H in there. So it's funny. My brother, you got all the alphabets.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
You got all the alphabets. But loving wrestling so much, you had to do well in school. So I made goals for myself in college. I made dean's list my first semester. And after I left Clemson, I had a bad adjustment to the South, and I said, I got to do it better. I got to do it better if I'm going to, influence other people to be able to go on and do what I'm doing right now. And I made the dean's list at my senior year in college. I made it. That's it. I go, I'm done with wrestling. Now I'm just going to get straight A's. And that's what when you set your mind to something, whether it's wrestling or school, it starts becoming real. You start seeing it. You can almost touch it. And once you can reach out, just grab it and pull it in. It's yours. And that's what I want my students to be able to accomplish. But the only thing I notice with the kids these days, they're not like Glenn Pritzlaff and Damian Logan and Steve Mocco, mentality-wise. They gotta be tougher. We can't baby our kids today. You can't just give them everything. I never got every car I owned. I bought. My parents did the right thing, and my brothers were my coaches. basically. And that's that. I give faith, families, everything in country to me. And
Hey, so now you're living in Paramus. That's so growing up, I used to come up every summer. My grandfather and grandmother had a house in Paramus. My uncle Teddy, my uncle Mike, my aunt Debbie. I used to come up, and there was a little. I don't know if is the park still there.
Sounds like you're in New Jersey to me. Sounds like you're in New Jersey to me.
Yeah. There used to be a park with like a little trolley or a train or whatever. And my uncles and aunt used to take me there, and we'd get on.
It's only 1 mile away from my house. It's Grandstone Park.
Yeah, so we used to have a great time. Now, now two of them live down in Manhattan, and the other one has moved back to Princeton several years back. Once that's where they went to school. So
wow,
they're back there now. But yeah, I used to love coming up to Paramus, and it's definitely great memories I've had in my life, and it's good. It's good. Well, I can't wait to get back up there, because next time I bring my son, I'm going to bring him to see you. But
yeah, we're going to go on that train, because I love that train.
Yeah, I'm ready.
They have the pony ride too.
So I know you spoke a little bit about being brought up in wrestling and your family ties with your brother and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, what are some of your most memorable moments giving back to the sport?
Wow. The most important thing for me is
You there? Hello? Oh, you may have lost him a little bit. He froze.
You hear me?
I hear you now. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just froze a little bit on the screen. What I was saying.
Memorable moment giving back to the sport.
Giving back to the sport. Seeing the kids' dreams come true. You can talk about it, you can say about it, whatever. It could be the littlest thing. It doesn't have to do with, it has nothing to do with wrestling. It's seeing them win state titles, national titles. Obviously, it was unbelievable. Ernie Monaco and myself were jumping on each other, and ESPN had us on with the camera. We're jumping, going crazy, watching Glenn Pritzlaff win his national title, his first national title, and those are priceless. Those are memories that are gonna last forever, and the parent and that, just the relationships you build. Just the relationship you build with each other. There's my tech guy.
That's a tech guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's the best. So that's my nephew. And those are the moments, just the quiet time you spend with your students when they're afraid, when they doubt themselves, and maybe they don't believe at your level at the time, and little by little you have to groom them to just hold their hand and say, listen, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this together. It's gonna happen, and it happens. That's the best.
Bill Crum said, laugh out loud. He never froze on the mat, though, because you froze on the TV. But
no, I didn't freeze. You froze. I was still moving.
I was still moving.
I was still moving. You were frozen for like a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, he said, but he never froze on the mat.
Hi, Bill. How are you? Another great man has done so much for us and so much for me too, as well, going into freestyle and stuff like that real quick right after I beat my state Hans Howler, #1 kid in the country in freestyle, Sports Illustrated phenom. I said, I'm going to do this freestyle. This guy's a world champion. I want to do it. So so those guys reaching out to Bill and those guys are Sonny Greenhall, New York Club at the time. I was just surrounded about some great people, and that's what it's all about. Just getting the great people coming together to do what we do best. That's what makes it worthwhile for me. It's worth millions to me.
That's so. Did I read an article or something that you were involved in Rutgers wrestling at some level?
No, I had Nikki Siriano, who I helped out 7th and 8th grade. I trained him at Apex. Damien had the premiere at the time. Trained him privately before he got into high school. Then I trained him. He came back to me as a junior and senior year. in high school to make sure he's getting ready for college. And I told him, you're going to be a national champ, bro. You're ready. You're ready. You're ready. He was ready mentally. He wasn't as polished as a technician, but now, through the years of being in Rutgers and being with Donnie Pritzlaff, another edge wrestler, cousin of the Glenn Pritzlaff, who I actually was the only guy that can wrestle Glenn. No, Glenn would just beat up everybody in the room, and they're cousins. So just to have him coach him, and we all knew that he was all in the right hands. It's when you put great people together with the same philosophy about winning and training and really going after it, not just thinking about it, doing it. And Rutgers is doing fantastic. Princeton's doing fantastic.
Now, how far is that? How much has it meant to the RTC to have Princeton and Rutgers involved?
Everything. Listen, New York Athletic Club reaped the benefits of a lot of great wrestlers. And look at Baumgartner; he's one of the best ever. And they've helped a lot. So many people, you have no idea. But I was grateful to be there. Them reaching out to me, and stuff like that. How am I going to afford to go to these tournaments, like national tournaments? So no, we'll take care of your flights and stuff like that. So I'm there. We are there. So I talked to Carl. I said, Carl, I got to get you on this team, this and that. But the next thing I knew, I won the tournament a couple of times, and I got a standing wrestler. The year I got a standing wrestler, I pinned our Olympian Ken Chirto in the finals. But in the semis, I pinned the Olympic gold medalist Sato from Japan. And it's the first time I really got a chance to talk to Dave Schultz. I watched him, I studied him, I take notes. Ernie Monaco loved him, so we would watch a lot of matches of Dave. And I go, listen, one of these days I'm going to go get this guy to come to this club. Years later, myself and his brother, I got a call to come on the team as well. But Dave Schultz came up to me after the tournament, after I won the tournament and got outstanding wrestler and the pin trophy. He said, listen, we want you to come down to Foxcatcher. I go, all right, we're going to go there for a workout. No. We want to eventually get you on the team. Just come down and you live down there and this and that. And Dave was like trying to sell me. I go, Dave, you had me at hello. You had me at hello. I'm like, let's just, really, I never really, idolized anybody or anything like that. But he was such a humble, such a loving person that he made you feel so important. And that's a gift. That's a gift that makes him so different than anybody else. He made everybody feel comfortable and feel good. And that's a great quality to have. We miss him.
I had Coach Shirto on.
Yep.
Yeah.
We argued back and forth. We wrestled like 7 times. I thought I beat him 4 times. He beat me 3 times. He said, no, I beat you 4 times. You beat me 3 times. I said, who pinned you? Who pinned you? That's it. Comes real simple.
Is he a fiery guy or what, man? When I was talking
to
him, you could feel the passion coming out of him.
He loves it. I mean, he lives it. It's his life legacy to continue to do what he does, and I appreciate him. He wrote in his book. I got my nephew a book. Well, we went to Bucknell last year, or whatever, Bison Duels, whatever, and he signed in and said, "Pete, thank you for pushing me all those years. Thanks for thanking me for him making an Olympic team. Because I actually told him you should go down 114. Forget 125. You can make the Olympic team. I'm convinced you can make the Olympic team at 114. And he made it. And I never liked any of my wrestlers that I wrestled against. I was very, very intense, old school, beat up everybody to my weight class or whatever. But when you get older, you start to appreciate all those guys like Kendall Cross. He wrote a great thing with all the wrestlers that have helped him along the way. Kendall said Tom Brands and myself and Ken Chirto and like 2 other people that you would think.
You had mentioned Mako, and I remember talking to him early on when my show first started going, and I remember him saying, I just wanted to kill people. Like it was like there was no, just figuratively, not literally, but
Yeah.
he was like
Well,
there was no
again,
people
he
when I
trained
walked on the
old
mat.
school.
He said I had
Again,
people forfeit because they didn't even want to face me.
yeah, it was.
How vicious he was.
It's almost, it's almost like putting a superhero outfit on. Batman's Clark Kent. Look at Clark Kent; he's very cool. He goes on with his life and does all the, these little clumsy here and there. We're all human. We all have faults, right? And and the next thing he puts that cape on. He's a badass. Nobody's pulling on his cape and say, "Hey, let's go, let's start."
It's funny. I've had. I used to ask a question sometimes, like headgear, no headgear, and you have people saying like, "No, I like to wrestle with no headgear," but then I've talked to some really good wrestlers that said, "Look, the headgear to me is like Superman's cape. When I click that on, that puts me in the mood."
Yeah, it's funny. I want to tell you a little quick story with Donnie Pritzlaff. Now he was in seventh grade and he was telling me, Pete, Pete, I think I have cauliflower ear. And I'm looking at his ear. I go, Donnie, you got to wear your headgear. You're gonna get, you're gonna get cauliflower ear. You're not gonna like it. It's gonna hurt. He goes, no, I like it. Start punching. He starts punching himself in the ear. True story. I hope Donnie's watching. Hopefully he can verify that.
That's great. Well, Coach George Sibilian said, New Jersey legend and D3 and future Hall of Famer. George is actually how I met you. So he sent me your number, referred you to me, and it's been a blessing ever since. We've spoke a few times, and I'm so happy and honored by this. It's been just an absolute pleasure speaking with you. And I if I didn't have any more shows on today, I'd just stay on with you.
You can call me anytime. I actually enjoyed talking to you yesterday on the phone as well.
Yeah,
George lived in my town when I moved to Lodi. After a while, we moved to Lodi, my brother and I, and George lived in that same town. It's funny. That's how we kind of hooked up. He goes, "Hey, do you know this guy? Do you know that guy?" And I go, "Yeah, I know Brian Bonomo." And I'd send him a picture. He goes, "Oh, hey, you said, yeah, this and that." So it's a small world, but it's a beautiful fraternity. Wrestling is for all you guys out there that are coaching, and I know it gets tough. And right now we're getting frustrated with everything that's going on. But hey, little by little, we're going to get back there. Wrestling survived plagues and diseases and even a pandemic. It's not going to stop us. Wrestling's been going on right through it. We just got to have faith and do what they tell us to do. But staying cleansy and cleaning your hands and your mouth and all that kind of stuff. That those basic things are essential.
Yeah. So tell me, Coach, I'm a parent, I'm a coach, I'm a wrestler out there, and I want to get in touch with Pete Gonzalez. I want to come to Jersey. I want to be trained by Pete Gonzalez. How do I get in touch with you? How do I contact you? How do we make that happen?
Well, GonzoWrestling.net is the website. My nephew, the tech guy here, he put a .net instead of .org. .org. I'm sorry. .org.
And tell him to make sure he posts a link on this conversation so that we have it. And then I have a small private group. Make sure he posts it in there too.
I will.
I'll let you guys in, but go ahead.
I just wanted to thank you so much. And what you're doing is great, exposing some great personalities in wrestling and great legends. And it's good stuff.
Well, it's awesome. Well, I'm not done yet. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. More prestigious, 32 or Fargo?
32.
All right. Pork roll or sloppy Joe?
What's that?
Pork roll or sloppy Joe?
Sloppy Joe.
Reno or body bar?
Reno.
Scrapple or corned beef hash?
I don't know any of those.
No scrapple?
No. What is scrapple?
It's a Jersey breakfast, I guess. Oh, maybe it's from somewhere else.
Yeah, it must be from somewhere.
No, from Jersey. All right, Dixie.
How about Taylor Ham and Taylor Ham and what's that called?
Pork roll.
Pork roll down in South Jersey, you call it. Yeah, no, Taylor Ham.
Taylor Ham. There we go.
What Jersey?
I like it. Dixie or Tulsa?
Tulsa.
Nathan's or Sabret's?
Wow, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go originally with Nathan's old school.
Schultze or Farrell?
Chelsea.
Rippers or Italian dog?
Wait. Farrell at the tournament?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Farrell. Now that it's changed over.
yeah. Rippers or Italian dog?
Italian.
All right. He's from North Jersey. That's what Bill Crum said. You won't know that. What did I put here? Oh, Pan Ams or Cadets?
Pan Am's.
All right. The Shore or Atlantic City?
That's a tough one. Atlantic City, that's where the state tournament is.
I love it. Hey, man, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much. It's an
Thanks,
honor.
Dan.
And I can't wait to get to Jersey and have my kid get to meet you.
You could call me anytime. Especially you definitely go back to that park though.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're running it. Hopefully they have it, you know.
Yeah, I remember my grandfather, my Uncle Teddy, Uncle Mike, Aunt Debbie, they used to take me there and we'd get on the little trolley and we'd ride it around. And I believe they used to have like little animals and stuff there.
Yeah, no, they have a couple of serious animals over there.
It's like the Paramus Zoo or something, right?
Yeah, it's a Van Zone Park Zoo. Paramus Van Zone Park Zoo.
I love it. I remember my one uncle when I was up there.
The train is awesome.
He'd take me to high school while he was doing baseball practice, and I'd be out there, little kid. So it was fun, man. Hey, this is awesome to get to speak to another wrestling legend like yourself. And,
Thank you. Very humbling. All the stuff lately has been coming at me, and I didn't want to, people wanted to thank me for the inducting and everything like that. And I go, I don't want to talk about that when people are struggling and afraid of dying and this and that. And so I kind of directed everything away from that point. But I know it's important to talk to people and be on the show and influence people to keep doing what you're doing and grow the sport and love the sport.
I had Coach Mike DeAugustino on, and he got inducted in the Hall of Fame, right? And I said to him, "Hey, what does it mean to you?" He says, "It just means I'm old." He said, "It just means I've been doing it too long."
A lot of people say, "Man, what took him so long? What took him so long?" It's actually someone has to nominate you, and if nobody nominates you, then then people are like, "What the hell?" When I get the phone call, they say, "Listen, you're past overdue. We got to get you down here. You got to get in." So that was nice.
Well, God willing, it happens. The event takes place.
Yeah, it's postponed for next year, but same date next year.
Oh, did they postpone it? It's not going to be this August?
Yeah, it's already postponed. Yeah.
Well,
because it's in Florida this year. So.
But is it going to be in Florida again next year?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, please give me.
Hopefully, because my family lives down there now. All the Colombians that migrated to America after retirement, they're all in Florida now. So most of them, my sister, and my triplet sister is also, which actually she's in Georgia, the South.
That's okay. That's close enough.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I love this. Love you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Love you too, brother. God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing.
I will, and I can't wait till my son can get back onto a wrestling match.
How old's your son?
One's 14 and one's 11. He's a little frustrated right now, but I tell him just to lift weights and do, I get recommendations from you guys, like just practice your jab steps and practice stance and motion.
I'm gonna get my brother to send you some videos of how he trains his boy. His boy's just turned 11. He's a badass. I mean, he does
my wife is very, very nervous about letting us out of the house yet, and I understand. So
yeah, of course.
But she says, "Don't worry, I promise. When I'm confident, we'll go do something fun." So
yeah, so it's gonna pass. Hey, listen, it's gonna be here like the flu. We just gotta take care of ourselves, and wrestling. We'll find a way.
It'll pass. Hey, so do you train at your house, or you have a gym you go to?
Yes, my gym is only not even 4 minutes away from my house. So
perfect.
Yeah,
so we'll be up there.
All right, buddy.
Scout's honor.
Hey, God bless you.
Hey, thanks, coach. And hey, any of your wrestlers, any of your coaches, any of your kids, youth kids, whatever, if any of them want to come on, please give them my link. They're all welcome.
I will.
Thank you.
I'll have my brother put it on right after this.
Yes,
Thank
and tell your nephew, thank you for the help.
Yep, you got it.